Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be exploring the problems that you have with humidity here in Kentucky, and we are also going to be looking at a sponsored product from AEOCKY, which is the AEOCKY Dehumidifier. There will be more about that later on. But I think most people know that we live in rural Kentucky, in southwestern Kentucky. It's near the border of Tennessee, and it can get really, really humid here. And so I have a humidity meter right here, and you can see right now we are at 65% humidity at 73 degrees. Now 65 isn't too terrible. But I have noticed a lot of times it is regularly above 70% humidity. And what is the problem with that? So first I'm going to ask Google, hey Google, what percent humidity should a house be? And we're going to see what Google says.
30% to 50% is ideal. Keeping it under 50% prevents mold growth, while staying above 30% avoids dry skin and respiratory irritation.
Okay, so there you go. Between 30 and 50% is ideal. So one problem we had in the other place we were living is it would get moist. Sometimes we'd even get some water in the house from leaks, and we would get mold damage. And mold is very, very bad. Lots of people have mold allergies, and in general, with high humidity like that, you can get mold in the house. And so you use what's called a dehumidifier to help dry out the air. It pulls out the moisture from the air, which is that humidity. So today we're going to be trying to test their dehumidifier they sent. So let me unbox it, and then we will go over some of the specs, and we're also going to do a test to see how much it can take the humidity down in this room. So here we have it. This is the AEOCKY RIA 001 dehumidifier. And first thing my wife said when she saw it was, it looks good. Goes with the style of our house, white and gray. And I agree, it looks really good. It's definitely a nice minimalist design. And so we'll go over just some of its features. So it has different modes up here that you can set. We're gonna get probably into more of that later, but you have, fan speed, up, down, different modes. And the main thing is it does have a smart humidity function so that it will be able to basically set whatever humidity you want, maintain the humidity at whatever level you want. So you don't have to turn it on and off and whatnot. It has high flow, high CFM for the fan, so it can spread the air nicely and circulate it nicely. It also has a hose output here, which it also came with the hose right here. So basically what you can do is instead of having to empty it, it also has the water, whatever, reservoir. So this is the reservoir for all the water that it pulls out of the air. It'll fill this up, but if you don't want to keep emptying this, then you can connect a hose on the back here and have it drain either into a bathtub, sink, if you have a floor drain somewhere, or a garden hose going outside. So you don't have to empty the reservoir all the time. And it's also made with high quality components. Take a look inside here. You have the air filter. Here you can see the condenser. AEOCKY uses high quality copper tubing to improve heat exchange efficiency, resulting in better dehumidification performance. Yeah, it looks good, high quality construction, and I like even the handles, how they made it so that they're only there if you need to carry it, and then it pops back out. That looks pretty cool. Anyway, so now I want to show what test we're going to be doing. So we're going to be testing in this room. So this model here, the RHEA 001 is good for up to, I think, 4,500 square feet. And this room right here is much smaller than that. This is only about, I want to say, between 400 and 450 square feet. So we're going to be testing it in our living room. It is connected to the rest of the house though, so it'll be pulling moisture out of a large area. But mainly we'll be operating it in this room. And so let me plug it in, and then it should tell us what the humidity is. Okay, there we go. Turn it on. It's on. Okay, so right now the humidity is keeping on going up. So I'm curious to see how much humidity it's going to say we have in the air right now, because this says 64%. So, oh, wow, nice. So that is accurate. I wasn't sure if that was accurate, but it looks like it is. They both say 64%. And so what I'm gonna do is I am going to test, I'm gonna give it 1 hour. I'm gonna try and set it on turbo, get the max power I can, and set a timer for 1 hour. This, they say it can do 80 pints of water per day, is how much moisture it can pull from the air. And so I want to set it on turbo and see how much moisture it pulls from the air in 1 hour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, you can go through the modes. So they've got a good nighttime mode, it's a little quieter. And then you've got different modes here, but I just want it on the constant mode here. There is an automatic mode, so if you don't want to mess with anything, that it says it'll keep it between, I think, 45 and 55% humidity, and it's all automatic. It'll do its own thing. So that's good for all the time. But right now I want to do a test, so I'm going to turn it on the constant mode and just keep it constantly on. So you can see right there, it's just on, and I'm going to turn the speed up to full, and right there, let's see how much moisture it can pull. So I'm going to turn it off right now, and I'm going to start a timer so you guys can see at the same time. But something else I want to mention before we move on is this is Energy Star rated. They say it uses up to 45% less electricity than most other dehumidifiers, and there is only about 5% of dehumidifiers that use this much power. So this is a good option if you want something that's energy efficient, that's not going to cost you as much money for running it all the time. They also give you a nice hose which can connect to the outlet here so that you can have it drain in like a bathtub, any indoor drain, or if you want, they give a garden hose attachment as well, so you can connect it to a garden hose going outside. That way, you never need to drain the reservoir. So I've turned it on right now, and we are currently in the automatic mode. So set it right there to get to a 60% humidity. And so I can turn it up and down, but I think a reasonable level of humidity is going to be 60%. And I also want to turn the fan speed on high. So right there it's set, and I'm going to set a stopwatch on my phone. So let me pull that up real quick, and we're going to get to see. So I'm going to start it, and I will come and check in a bit to see how it's doing. So right now the reservoir is empty down here, and it's currently, says it's at 82%. So yeah, I'm gonna let it run, and we'll come and check back to see if this is able to keep, you know, I've already showed you the room, but we'll see if it's able to keep this room at a comfortable level of humidity that isn't too much. So yeah, I'm gonna let it run, and we'll come back in a bit. So now I'm back after about a long time, 9 hours and 39 minutes. It's been a while. I did notice that the humidity went down, and it did get to 60% around the 7-hour mark. And it probably is pulling from the whole house, the humidity. And I do know we were going in and out a lot. But then we ended up having visitors this evening, and so I did not get around to filming at that time because we've been busy, but now it is full. So 9 hours later, and it is full of water and needs to be emptied. So you can see here, the reservoir is full, and you can see here that we are currently at 65% humidity. See there, that's what it does when it's full. So let me go dump this, and then get it back working again. Emptying the reservoir is pretty easy. Just take it out, bring it over to wherever you want to dump it. I'm going to dump it here in the sink and try and do it while holding the camera. So all this water here, this is all pulled out of the air. That's quite a bit of water. Wow. So that's how much water it pulled out of the air. That's pretty impressive. So I'm gonna go put it back in, get it working again. So here we go. It is running again, and it says 68. So I'm gonna let it keep running. Right now it should still be set, yep, at the 60% target humidity. So I'm gonna let it keep running overnight and check again tomorrow morning to see how much it's pulled out of the air. You see it's already gone down 1. It's 67 right there. So overall, it's doing definitely a good job keeping the humidity in check. Now, if I had that hose attached to it, then and if we had like a drain here or something out where it could just drain out, then I wouldn't need to keep emptying the reservoir. I could just keep it so it was always on and it would continue to drain without filling the reservoir up, which would be very nice. But we don't have a good place for that here. So I'm just gonna keep letting it run and yeah, keep checking up on it. But like I said, it had gone down to 60%, and it actually showed on the little humidity sensor we have, it showed less than 60. It was actually around 57% humidity. So yeah, it's definitely doing good. So we'll keep it going overnight. So now is about 12 o'clock during the day, and this thing has been going since last night. And right now you can see it is currently at 59% humidity, and it just shut off. So here you can see it says 63%, but it is continuing to pull moisture from the air. So you can see here we've got some water in there, and overall it is definitely doing good. It's very easy to select the humidity you want, and you can just set whatever percent humidity you want your house to be at, and it will automatically keep going. As long as you keep emptying the reservoir whenever you need to, it'll keep your house at the target humidity level that you want. So it's working great, and I just want to say thank you to AEOCKY for sponsoring this video. And I think that is going to be all. As you can see, the device works great, and yeah, I look forward to getting to use it in our house. So if you are interested in purchasing one, then there will be a link in the description below. Please go check them out. And I think that's going to be it for the video today. So, bye.